Welcome back to another episode of Power Rankings. We will be heading over to France for the third installment of Evo. Yes, we're going to be talking about some fighting games today. 3 in particular, though. We'll be taking a look at Street Fighter, Tekken, as well as Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. With me today is Andy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's like you said, we're packing our bags to Nice, France, the third installment for Evo Championship. We already did our Japan tour. We already went over to California. Now it's time to go over to Europe for the first time. I'm stoked.
Me too, and we have a lot of great games. We've seen a lot of these games played before as well, and these, as you said, we've been to Japan, we've been to Vegas for these tournaments. We've already seen a lot of them play, but we're gonna have to rank them once more going into this tournament. We're gonna be starting though off with Street Fighter, and well, we have a lot to talk about. We're gonna start with number 3 though, will be Blas, who's had a lot of mixed success in this tournament so far. He's, done well at EWC, but has fallen short, not even making top 8 or even top 16 at Evo so far. So do you think this can be his breakout Evo tournament?
I think it's tough to be able to gauge whether or not Blas is going to have his breakout here at this event, but it is possible with those that won't be in attendance to get in his way for a potential another grand finals, like you already talked about. Second place at EWC, big stuff out of him. He's been running the South America scene since 2G has picked his young butt up. So I think that you're looking for him to continue to make a lot of moves. Second at Capcom Cup at the beginning of the year. He's continuously improving his play over and over again. Even throughout all these clips, like you'll see his Ken is very, very punishing, and he's very direct as far as what he can do, and his block strings in the corner are elite. Is it good enough to be above the international talent? I'm not too sure, but this is his best bet.
Yep, we'll have to see. As you said, mixed success, but has been getting better as the year's been going on. We'll have to see if this young gun can make some waves at Evo France. But we're gonna go ahead and jump into number 2 now. This will be Lashar, and he has had a stellar year so far. He's had first at Combo Breaker and CEO, but only top 8 at Evo Las Vegas and top 3 at EWC. Do you think, though, that this can be his Evo tournament?
Yeah, he got that third place at EWC, and then the reason why he was in that third place match is because he lost a set to Zhao Hai and went down to the absolute wire. I'm talking like the finest bit of pixels as far as HP is concerned. Top 8 at Evo Vegas as well. On the international stage, he's been progressively getting better. But is it going to be enough for him to be able to hoist that trophy? I'm not too sure, man. It's one of those things for me, especially for Lashar, is that for as long as he's been competing, he's always gotten so close to be, I guess, getting that big chip of a trophy. He got that taste, like you were talking about, Combo Breaker and CEO Championship. But towards the latter half of the stage, he's been losing out to a lot of South Koreans and Japanese talent.
Yep, and so we'll have to see. This could be his Evo, but he has to make it past some of those big names that we're seeing there. You talked about one of them that he was unable to make it past, and that is Zhao Hai. That is going to be our number 1 rank going into this tournament. And the start of the year for his Street Fighter was a little bit slow. He did start breaking into those top 8s when we finally got to Evo Las Vegas, and of course, the big win at EWC. Do you think he can continue his form going into Evo France?
Yeah, I love to echo that one point. Top 16 Capcom Cup at the beginning of the year, top 23, top 26 to start his entire year throughout all of these different tournaments, including Combo Breaker and CEO. Everybody was ready to write off Zhao Hai, and I think himself included, just to get over towards City of the Wolves, but I digress. He continues to step up and showcase his ability in a competitive scene. Like you talked about, number 1 over Blas at EWC. Some say that his route was a little bit easier, but like I already talked about, he did have to face Lashar, and he did make it out of groups comparatively to some other individuals, and he's been dominating the CPT China number 3 tournament as well. Although it is a lot of local individuals, there's still a lot of talent as far as that tournament is concerned, and he has been belittling everybody as he's been going along. I don't think that we've seen the peak as far as Zhao Hai is concerned, and I don't know if we're going to get it at this event either. Let's not forget, like, Mena RD will not be there. There's a couple of individuals that will not be there as well. This is Zhao Hai's best chance to go back-to-back major tournaments.
It is, and as you said, Mena RD will not be there. Unfortunately, some issues with that, but of course, this allows some of these other players to rise up. Now is their time, and possibly you can get another Zhao Hai back-to-back tournament win. That'd be amazing for him. Let's go ahead and switch gears. So let's get into Tekken 8, which of course is another one of these big attendance games coming in. We're going to go into number 3, and that is going to be Lo Hai. He's had a powerful run in multiple tournaments, including top 8 at Evo Las Vegas, got second at EWC, and recently in the Ultimate Fighter Arena about 3 weeks ago, he finally got his first place. Do you think he can bring that to this Evo event?
Yeah, and he got his revenge set over, what was it, Geoding at that most recent tournament as well. So I think for Lohai, he's much in the conversation for a lot of other individuals in this tournament. For Tekken 8, there's a lot of people that will not be there in attendance, but as far as international tournaments are concerned, you already highlighted wonderfully. He's been progressively getting better, a couple top 8 starting the season top 24. Peaked at EWC, albeit losing to Olsen. I think that's what you're mostly looking at. Can he finally take a set off of somebody that is actually in the top 4 for the global rankings? He's right there. Lohai is just outside of it. The RX have a really good fighter with them, and I think that this is going to be his headway going in towards this tournament, finally putting to rest that, yes, he can beat one of these other top 3 competitors.
Yep, and we all know how strong Korea is at this game, and not a lot of them are in attendance, so he's showing out not only for himself, but the country as well. We're going to go ahead and jump into number 2, though, and that is going to be ATIF, and he's had an amazing year so far. We had first place at CEO, Combo Breaker, and Evo Las Vegas second place, but struggled at EWC, what should have been his home ground here. Do you think he can make a return here at Evo France?
Yeah, he was one of 2 players that is actually on this list that got bounced out of groups at EWC, and nobody had that on their bingo card. Nobody at all, especially for ATIF. You think about this individual, he's the most consistent player on the entire year. When you think about all of the second places, when you think about all of the top 3s, all the top 4s he's been able to find throughout all of the year. The reason why he's second in the global rankings for Tekken 8 is because of his consistency. The problem is when he is going up against other better known participants over the years in Tekken, in grand finals, in those semifinals. He kind of breaks when he gets into those moments. Like, what was it, the old 3 to Molgod back in Combo Breaker for the chip. That's something that we never really saw coming. I forget who he got bounced out by in top 16 for groups, but even in those high pressure moments, we need to see him come out on top, and that's the one thing that's keeping ATIF from that number 1 spot.
And we're going to talk about one of those other going into this next one. One of those players that's been kind of gatekeeping him is one of his almost teammates as well, Arslan Ash here. Arslan Ash is going to be our number 1 going into the rankings, and what can't be said about this guy? Unfortunately, he did struggle a little bit at EWC, but we're going to take a little bit of a look back at Evo Las Vegas and how strong he was at that Evo going into this. Do you think he can get a back-to-back Evo tournament win?
I would be surprised if he doesn't, just flat out. I think that Arslan Ash is by far and away the best Tekken 8 player on the world, depending on who's going to be showing up on the tournament. He's also one of those players, too. Like, he got top 16 EWC. That was, like, the second player I was talking about with ATIF. Like, how did that even happen? Nobody saw that coming, but he was out of groups and it made the tournament a little bit more exciting. But, yeah, third place at CEO, Battle Arena champion as well. I think that Arslan Ash is constantly just boasting how many trophies he can fit inside a cabinet within the year 2025. And going in towards this one, like we were saying, there's a lot of people that will be missing. Some of those players like Mogul that has actually taken sets off of him. That first best of 5 at Evo LA to start things off 0-3, didn't even take a single game off of him. And then he came back and bounced 3-1 was the final set there in that best of 5. So I think, yeah, Arslan Ash is for sure set up to go back-to-back. I would be surprised with the win.
Yeah, definitely, as we've seen here, has that wide variety pool, so can play the Nina, the Anna as well. Definitely has a mix-up. We'll have to see how others fare against him. If he can get that back-to-back, that's going to be looking pretty good going towards the end of the year, as well as for those Tekken Pro Tour points. But we are going to move into our last game here, and it is going to be the rising of Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. This game has been picking up speed ever since its release around May of this year, and we've had some big players, but we're going to go ahead and start off with Ponko. As you know, this player has come in, didn't have the best start to 2025, but has been gaining a lot of experience. He did get 4th at Evo Las Vegas, but recently he has been rising a bit. Do you think his Asian experience can maybe grant him a win here at Evo?
Oh, absolutely. I think at least a top 3, maybe even like a top 6. Like, this guy is for sure seeing that top 8 bracket come Sunday. It's just which facet we're going to end up getting. It's also important to know for Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, much like the other participants, there are a lot of big names that are missing. So this is a big opportunity for Punko to be able to step up and absolutely deliver on some real top-notch performances. Because if you go back throughout his entire year 2025 for Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, the only players that he's lost to are Fenrich, Goichi, like all of the top players that literally will not be in attendance. He's never faced Xiaohai. He's never faced Yunwu either. Like, all of these players that he's going up against, whether he has faced them or not, he's never lost to. All of his demons will not be in attendance. So he shows up, he plays his game. It's a good shot.
Yeah, he is, and he's representing the old crowd there. 40 years old, but still going strong. This guy has been looking really good in his most recent tournaments, so it'll be really good to watch him play here. But let's go and jump into number 2. It's going to be Yunwoo, and this is another player that had kind of struggled at the little bit at the beginning, didn't really get a lot of big tournaments under his name, but has been absolutely slaying out in the SNK Championship Series. Yeah. He finally found his first win at the Ultimate Fighting Arena. Do you think he can upset some of the big names here?
I think that there's going to be a lack of tape on what Yunwoo is going to be able to bring to the table. I mean, even all that said, I mean, like how much tape you could possibly use, because we're all pretty much using the same characters. It's a very top-heavy game right now, is City of Wolves, but I think for Yunwoo, you do have that one extra bit going for yourself, the unknown, right? Like you already talked about the SNK Championship. He's doing really well in that. He is the Ultimate Fighting 2025 champion over Kadevu, which is the current clip on the screen, but it's still one of those things, albeit you have a better second half of the year. He was not at EW. He was not at Evo LA. So there's a lot of questions on whether or not he's going to be able to boast the second place ranking that is coming along with it. But for all the participants that I got to see on that tournament list, yeah, I got to favor him, because that grand finals versus Kandevu at the Ultimate Fighting Arena, that was something spicy.
It really was. And as you said, this could be the big time to make your name ahead of that SNK Championship Series going in later into October actually as well. But speaking of that, we're going to go and talk about our number 1. And guess what? He's been on this list once before. It's going to be Xiaohai once again. This dude has just been... He's the last of an old breed that is able to compete competitively in multiple games, but he has looked so good here. Did fall off a little bit when he was playing against Goichi Fenrich a little bit earlier, but do you think with some of those players missing and how well he's been performing in multiple games that he can win this and kind of get back his number 1 reign in Fatal Fury?
Not only will he get a second Evo championship in a similar title, he's going to be one of the first 2 players, or one of the first few players to actually win an Evo championship in multiple titles. And I will die on this hill. Xiaohai, much like I was talking about for Punko, the players that he has lost to, most notably Goichi at EWC in that grand finals, will not be in attendance. The players that he's played most competitively will not even be there, including Fenrich as well. So I think that the people are also looking at Xiaohai to complete this incredible feat. But let's not forget, before he even went into EWC, that was the first time that he lost in City of Wolves. It kind of spiraled into this very pandemic that he can't win versus other top players. But in recency, he's been looking a lot better in those plays and those scrimmages. Plus, the guy is playing at top notch, not only in this title, but 2XKO and also Street Fighter 6, like we were talking about. How many he can win, I'm not too sure, but he definitely deserves to be number 1, not only Street Fighter 6, but here as well. He's your Evo Japan champion for a reason, Chris. And he's gonna come into this one off of an off-meta pick as well to absolutely desecrate the crowd.
He is, and I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we have a lot of great competitors here. You talked about it a little bit. I'm gonna throw in the little spiral question for you here. We have a lot of games going on. What are you most looking forward to outside of the 3 that we talked about?
It's gotta be 2XKO, right? I mean, like, this is gonna be the first international tournament that we're gonna get for 2XKO. We've had like a European matchup. We also had like the first week that it came out, there was like something going on with like a Spooky up in the tri-state area as well. But like, we haven't really gotten to see what the international talent does look like for 2XKO. Riot's new fighter, of course, and it's very friendly as far as competition is concerned. You're gonna have a lot of Tekken players cross-pollinated with Street Fighter players, with Fatal Fury, Grand Blue players. You name it, you're probably gonna be playing 2XKO. I don't know what the competition is gonna be looking like. I haven't even looked at the number of participants, but it's gonna bang.
It is gonna bang. I mean, we're having a lot of fun watching it. There's gonna be other fun tournaments, 100, Nin, Impact, Wada shit. It's an absolute mess, but it's a great game of a mess if you watch it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But that's going to wrap it up for us here today. We are looking forward to it. It does start on October 10th, so make sure you tune into all those amazing games. Pick one, pick them all. We're going to be watching it. We'll make sure that we have you covered on a rapid recap later next week as well for it. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.